Okay, today in this video we will discuss about this another important gymnosperm plants, that is Cycas. So we had already studied about Pinus as well as Netum. So today we will take a look at the occurrence, distribution and the morphology as well as the reproduction of Cycas. So first let us take a look at the occurrence as well as the distribution of this plant. Now, okay, coming to the introduction, alright, the Cycas here, it belongs to the division Cyclophyta. As you can see here, it belongs to the division Cyclophyta and the class Cycadopsida, order Cycadales, family Cycadaceae, and genus Cycas. This plant, this plant Cycas, the genus Cycas, it comes from the Greek word Cycas, okay, or meaning the cocoa palm. This plant, it includes about 20 species distributed wildly or cultivated in the tropical as well as subtropical regions of the world, and they mostly occur in the Eastern Hemisphere, particularly in the southern part of Japan, India, China, northern part of Australia, eastern coast of Africa, Burma, Bangladesh, Mauritius, Nepal, and islands of Indian as well as Pacific Ocean. So this is the distribution or the occurrence of this plant. And in India, this genus is represented by about 6 species. Okay, out of these 6 species, there are 4 species which occur in natural state, and those species are Cycas circinalis, Cyclospectinata, Cyclist Rhomphai, and Cyclist Bedomay. Whereas 2 of the species which occur in India, they are usually cultivated in the gardens, and those 2 species are Cyclist Revoluta and Cyclist siamensis. So let us talk about the distribution and distinctive features of these 6 Indian species. Now, the first one here that you see in this picture is of Cycas circinalis. This Cycas circinalis, this plant is also known as Crozier cycas. The plants, they grow in wild forests, in forests of western Ghats of South India, and also in the hills of Orissa. And these plants, they attain a height of about 4 to 6 meters, and as you can see, they possess a crown of foliage leaves here. They possess a crown of large leaves, and each leaf here, each of these single leaf, as you can see, they possesses about 100 pairs, okay, 100 pairs of flat and acuminate leaflets. And these leaflets are usually not more than 12 millimeter broad. So the next picture here, this one, you can see here, this is the male cones, okay, the male cones of Cycas circinalis. The male cones, they are cylindrical or ovoid in shape, whereas the next picture here is of the female cone, and here the mega Sporophylls, they are usually long, rhomboid, and also possess sharp teeth along the margins, and they usually bear, you can see orange, small orange ovules here. So each megasporophyll, they bears up to about 12 ovules. And the next species of Cycas is Cycospectinata. This is also known as Nepal Cycas. Now these plants, they grow in the wild. Okay, they grow in the wild in Nepal, Sikkim, Somshwar Hills of Bihar, plains of Assam, Manipur, as well as Bangladesh. And these plants, they measure, the height of these plants is about 1.5 to 2.5 meters, and they possess a thick columnar stem. The leaves, as you can see, the leaves, they are very long. Okay, and they have linear leaflets. You can see these leaflets here. The leaflets are linear, and the male cones here in this diagram, in this picture in the left, you can see the male cone is about usually about 40 centimeter long, and same like Cycas circinalis, it is either ovoid or cylindrical in shape. And the mega Sporophylls, they are deeply pectinate, and pectinate, why? Because as you can see, they have narrow projections, okay, closely, which are arranged closely in a row. So they are pectinate, and each mega Sporophylls, you can see these small green ovules here, they possess about 4 to 6 ovule. Okay, each mega Sporophyll, they possess about 4 to 6 ovules. So the next species now that you see here in this picture, which is found in India, is Cyclist Rhomphai. Now this Cyclist Rhomphai, also known as Rhomphus cycas, it grows wildly. Okay, this species, it grows wildly in Andaman Nicobar and Cocos Islands, and it also occurs in Sri Lanka, Malaya, Burma, Celebes, and New Guinea. The plants, they reach up to a height of only about 1.5 to about 4 meters long. And the leaves here, the leaves, they are about 1 to 2.5 meters long. So the leaves of Cyclist Rhomphai also are very long, and they bear about 50 to 60 pairs of these leaflets. You can see the leaflets on either side of the rachis here. These leaflets are about 50 to 60 in numbers. Okay, the male cones, let us take a look at the male cones here. The male cones, they are usually a stalk. Okay, they are attached with a stalk, and also they are ellipsoidal in shape. Whereas the megasporophyll, you can see they are long, rhomboid, and resemble those of Cycas circinalis. Okay, and also possess ovules. You can see the ovules green in color here. So the next species is Cyclist Bedomay, also known by the name Madras cycas. This species is widely distributed in the eastern Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Calicut, as well as Java. And the plants, they usually grow on the hills of Kudapa district of South India. These plants, as you can see clearly in this picture, they are a dwarf. Okay, these plants, they are dwarf, shrub-like, and their height is only about 40 centimeters. So as compared to other species, they are very short, and also they bear a crown. Here you can see it's like a crown of the spinnate leaf. Okay, where the leaflets are arranged on both sides. And the leaflets, when you take a look at a single leaflets here, they are very narrow. The leaflets are narrow, about 2 to 4 millimeter broad with revoluate margins. And next here you can see in this second figure here, this is the male cone, alright. The male cone is usually oblong, ovoid in shape, and the megasporophylls, they are usually ovate lanceolate with linear teeth, but it's not so clear in this picture. These green in color, you can see they are the ovules. Okay, so the next species is Cyclist Revoluta, also known as Sago Cycas. This species is actually a native of China and also southern Japan. In India, it is commonly cultivated in the gardens as the ornamental plant. And the plants, they are not too tall, as you can see clearly here in this figure. They are short, they are not so very tall, and they reach up to a height of only about 2 meters. The leaflets have characteristic revolute margins. Okay, these leaflets, they have revolute margins, and the male cones here on the left, you can see the male cones, they are oblong, okay, oblong ovoid in shape, and the mega Sporophylls, they are ovate lanceolate with the they are shaped like a lance head, okay, tapering at each end and having these linear teeth. Okay, we call it linear teeth, and these are the ovules you can see here in this picture. And the next species is Cycas siamensis. Okay, sorry. The next species, that is the last species here, which is usually commonly found in India, is Cycas siamensis, also known as the Siam cycas. This species, it grows widely in Siam, Burma, Cochin, China, and Yunnan. And in India, it is common, again, just like Cyclist Revoluta, it is commonly grown in gardens as an ornamental plant. And the plants, these plants, also they are quite short in length. You can see the height is, they are not too tall. The height is usually 2 to 3 meters. And also they have long leaves. You can see these foliage leaves. The male cones of these species, Cycas siamensis, they are ovoid oblong in shape, and sorry, you can see here this in this picture, the second picture here on the right, the megasporophylls, they are pectinate along the margins and they bear ovules. Okay, only about 1 to 2 ovules. So that is all about the distribution as well as the occurrence of this Cycas species in India. So now in the next video, I will talk on the external features or the plant body or the adult sporophytic body of the Cycas.